What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here with yet another WWE Elite Series rating video. We did 1 through 20, we did 21 through 40. Today we are doing 41 through 60. This has been a series I've been doing trying to rate every WWE Elite Series of all time, and soon we will have done just that. Today we've got 41 through 60. Let's get right into it with Elite Series 41. In this series, we have Lita, Ryback, Dean Ambrose, Terry Funk, Finn Balor, and the 1-2-3 Kid. Best figure out of the series is Finn Balor. This is his first Demon Elite, and I think it's absolutely timeless. I think it's really, really cool. Based off of his early run, he does have the Daniel Bryan torso, which holds him back a little bit. If they would have gone with the Seth Rollins torso, this would have been an absolute 10 out of 10 figure. It doesn't have that, unfortunately, but I think there's enough detail and enough likeness to Finn Balor with the paint and all that to where it can be the best figure out of the series. I just wish he had the Seth Rollins torso earlier, and that was a long-standing issue that they had with the Balor figures. They were giving the Daniel Bryan torso. Worst figure out of the series is Dean Ambrose. This is just not the most exciting figure for me. He's got the DA logo on the black tank top, which is pretty cool, but the jeans color is just really saturated, doesn't look too realistic. Head sculpt's nice, but just overall, I would rather have all the other figures out of this series over the Dean Ambrose. Favorite figure out of the series, Finn Balor. Least favorite, Dean Ambrose. Final star rating for Elite 41, I would give it 3.5 stars. Elite Series 42, we got Neville, Kalisto, Xavier Woods, Triple H, and then Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags of the Nasty Boys. They're one of their only Mattel figures they ever had in Elite Series 42. They're pretty cool, but my favorite figure out of the series is Neville. Purple attire, super nice. Cape is really unique. Head sculpt's cool. I think it resembles him. I think it looks like him. Don't have any gripes about it. Could be my favorite Neville they've ever done, either that or the Elite 55. More on that later, but that Neville is really, really nice. Really, really cool Neville. And my least favorite figure out of the series, I seem to always put Triple H's at the bottom of the list for these elite ratings, but I'm doing it again. Triple H. I really like the entrance piece that we're seeing here. This is based off of WrestleMania 31, the Terminator Triple H attire, which is really cool. But just overall, it's just another current attire Triple H, and those figures weren't necessarily that exciting back then. Since we've already seen quite a few, we had the Elite 28, we had the Elite 35, then we had the Elite 42. Just not my favorite, but I do really like the Terminator entrance piece on that Triple H. I think that's cool. Final rating for Elite 42, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Moving on, we have Elite Series 43. Alberto Del Rio, Kevin Owens, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Kofi Kingston, and Samoa Joe. Not the best series in my opinion. Just not that exciting to me. Best figure out of the series, Kofi Kingston. This is like his first New Day Elite figure. This was not their debuting attire, but this was like their next attire after that. Blue and the white. I think it's really cool. Kick pads, you could throw on the Ruthless Aggression Shelton Benjamin, and it looks really, really nice. I really like that Kofi Kingston. He comes with the crowd sign, but and he also comes with the entrance vest, which is really cool. Cool Kofi Kingston. Worst figure out of the series, kind of hurts me to do this, but Samoa Joe. I like this figure in a lot of ways, but I also don't like this figure in a lot of ways. There's just always something about this figure that throws it off. Maybe it's the head sculpt, maybe it's maybe it's the legs. I don't know, but I just don't really like that Samoa Joe that much. Even though I tend to like it, I tend to dislike it. I have mixed thoughts on it. But Samoa Joe is my least favorite figure out of the series. Final rating 2.5 stars, believe it or not. Into Elite Series 44, we got Tugboat, Sin Cara, Big E, Braun Strowman, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Sasha Banks. Best figure out of the series, Sin Cara. His figures were always so cool, always so detailed. Very toyetic of a character was Sin Cara, and this is a very, very cool figure. Pink, silver, and black. Dude, this is immaculate. Absolutely love that Sin Cara. Silver vest is really cool. That's probably my second favorite Sin Cara they ever did behind the Elite 15, but it's really, really cool. I highly recommend that you track down that Sin Cara. Worst figure out of the series, Tugboat. Just not that exciting. I'm all for the 80s figures. I like 80s and 90s figures. Those are really cool to me. But just Tugboat, not the most exciting figure, not something that I feel like we necessarily needed at the time. And the Legends Greatest Hits figure definitely it blows this figure out of the water. Looks way better with the head sculpt and everything. Elite 44 final rating 3.5 stars from me. Now this is a good series. Elite 45. Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Lex Luger, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Lord Steven Regal. What an underrated series this is. I like Elite 45 a lot. Best figure out of the series, pretty obvious, Seth Rollins. I feel like this is a figure that we need re-released. Please, Mattel, white and gold gear for Seth Rollins, maybe in the Ultimate Edition. That would be really, really cool. Definitely re-release the Elite 45 Seth Rollins, but until then, it's a really good figure. I love the white and gold gear. That's one of my favorite attires Seth Rollins has ever worn. And Elite 45 is something I've always wanted personally. He's got the vest. He's got the WWE Championship. He's got the laughing facial expression. Absolutely awesome Seth Rollins figure. And the worst figure out of the series is Lex Luger. I like the cape that we see here, purple and silver. But just like overall, similarly to the tugboat in Elite 44, it's just not the most exciting figure, and I don't really like the head sculpt either. But it's like the narcissist Lex Luger, and that is my least favorite figure out of the series. Favorite is Seth Rollins. Elite 45 as a whole, well, I'm gonna go 4.5 stars. I think it's a really really good series, a really underrated one for sure. Into Elite Series 46, we got Sheamus, Rusev, Finn Balor, Stevie Ray, Booker T, and John Cena. Favorite figure out of the series, once again, Finn Balor. Highly detailed, super duper cool. This is from a show that they did in Japan, and Finn Balor brought out this absolutely insane face paint and body paint and all that when he faced, I believe it was Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship. He faced Kevin Owens in this match. But this is really really awesome, especially in on the back. It's super cool on the front as well. It got all the tassels, the headdress, and everything. Just highly detailed, super duper cool. Once again, Seth Rollins' torso would have been perfect with this figure, but we got to take what we can get. This is a really awesome Finn Balor for having the Daniel Bryan torso on there, but still is my favorite figure out of the series. Highly detailed. Love that Finn Balor. Worst figure out of the series is Rusev. Head sculpt's not my favorite. I really like the jacket, but as far as like everything else, it's kind of just a bland Rusev figure and not a figure that I feel like a lot of people like. But Elite 46 final rating is going to be 4 stars. We got Elite 47A, Cesaro, Big Boss Man, Tatanka, AJ Styles, Asuka, and Kevin Owens. Best figure out of the series. I was gonna say Asuka, I really was, but I just feel like I like the AJ Styles more. Okay, this is his 2016 Royal Rumble debuting attire. Love this AJ Styles. Really really cool. One that I think they should re-release Elite 47A AJ Styles. Really really cool. And this was also his first overall figure, I believe, and I think they did a really good job on it. I think it's cool, and I really do like the attire. It's just a really nostalgic attire when he debuted at the Royal Rumble of 2016. It's really cool. Like that, I like that AJ Styles a heck of a lot. And my least favorite figure out of the series, Kevin Owens. Don't like this head sculpt. The shirt's pretty cool. I like the logo on the shirt, but just overall, everything with this Kevin Owens with the head sculpt and everything, it is my least favorite figure out of the series. Overall rating for Elite 47A, I'm gonna go once again 4 stars. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't include this particular series in your Elite rating countdown, but I just decided to include it. It's Elite 47, 47B. It was like a B series to Elite 47, something that they never did again. It was really really odd, but it's a strong series. We got The Rock, Kane, Goldust, Brian Pillman, Connor, and Victor. Best figure of the series. I did a vintage figure reviews on it recently. Go check that out. But my favorite figure out of the series is Goldust. Big robe, super duper cool. This is like 90s debut Gold Dust. Very, very awesome. Love the robe. The robe is like the main selling point for that figure for me. And my least favorite figure out of the series is the only thing that really holds this series back, The Rock. It's just another Rock figure, really out there, really random, similar to like an Elite 29 Andre the Giant scenario. Just like not something we needed, just something really random. And it is my least favorite figure out of the series, but I do like the jacket. And my final rating for Elite 47B is going to be 4.5 stars. I think it's really, really good. Moving on to Elite 48, we got Kalisto, the Boogeyman, Cactus Jack, Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, and Dean Ambrose. Boogeyman is my favorite figure out of the series. I think it's toyetic, super duper cool, and I think this is also going to be re-released in the From the Vault line soon, which I actually will get. I might get. I do have the original Elite 48 Boogeyman, but the thing was, like the left hand on mine actually like came broken in the package, and that's something I was never able to fix, and I always found frustrating. So I might get that from the fall re-release. I don't know. But the Boogeyman's my favorite figure out of the series. And my least favorite figure is going to be, I was going to say Dolph Ziggler, but I ended up going with Eric Rowan. You get two sheep masks, which is cool. You get the like the big like overalls, which I heard they don't pose around the best, but I don't really have any Eric Rowan elites, so I can't really attest to that. It's just my least favorite figure out of the series overall, especially compared to everything else. It's just not that cool, not something that piques my interest. Elite 48 as a whole, 3.5 stars from me. Elite 49. Here we go. Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Apollo Crews, Becky Lynch, Randy Orton, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Best figure out of the series. I'm gonna get this could be a little controversial, but I'm gonna go Enzo Amore. Super duper detailed, super duper fun, really really cool. And I feel like a lot of people liked this figure when it came out. Enzo Amore, he's got the gold chains, he's got the jacket, he's got the blue and yellow decals throughout. Just really, really cool, really detailed. All the tattoos, the hair, just so unique, so toyetic, much like with the Boogeyman in Elite 48. It's just something so cool. I really do like that Enzo Amore. And my least favorite figure out of the series is gonna go to Becky Lynch. I think this head sculpt is really not that good, and she has a track record of not having really good head sculpts. That she has occasionally some decent head sculpts like that main one on the Ultimate Edition that you see right there on my shelf. I think that one is pretty cool. I think that one's pretty good. I think it resembles her. But just overall, she has not had some of the best head sculpts, and they really rarely nail her in that regard. She also comes with the big rubber jacket that doesn't help, and she is my least favorite figure out of the series. Enzo's my favorite. Elite 49 as a whole, 3 stars. Elite Series 50. Warlord, Baron Corbin, Rhino, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and John Cena. It's cool how they included both Stephanie and Shane in the same series. But the series itself, I don't know. I've never really been able to get behind it. But my favorite figure out of the series is going to be Baron Corbin. A lot of cool details on it, a lot of cool sculpting. I was also a big fan of Baron Corbin when he was around. It's just a shame that he is not in WWE anymore. But Baron Corbin is my favorite figure out of the series. Least favorite, a lot of people say Rhino, but I think like the Stephanie McMahon is like not as good as that Rhino. I'm not saying that the Rhino is just like the best figure of all time, but I'd just rather have that over the Stephanie McMahon. I actually have the Rhino. It's on my Attitude Era shelf. You 100% can't see it, but it's on my Attitude Era shelf. And Stephanie McMahon, just like it's another Stephanie McMahon elite, not that big of a gap. Bit from Elite 37. That's like 13 series if you don't count Elite 47B for another Stephanie McMahon figure. Just not that exciting. She is my least favorite figure out of the series, but I do really like the mask, like the Triple H mask. That's cool. But my final rating for Elite 50 is going to be 2.5 stars. Moving into Elite Series 51, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Berserker, AJ Styles, Mankind, and Scott Hall. Solid series. Best figure is going to be Sami Zayn. I think it's a really cool figure. Definitely resembles Sami Zayn a lot with the head sculpt, especially like for this era of Sami Zayn. It's a really cool figure to get. I like that Sami, and I especially like the cloth shirt. Worst figure out of the series. Every figure out of the series is good, but I had to give it to Scott Hall. It's just very similar to some looks we've seen of Scott Hall before. Not that exciting, not my favorite head sculpt on it. But the vest is cool, the spray paint attire is cool, the spray can's cool. But just overall it's my least favorite figure out of the series. And Elite 51 as a whole, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Elite 52, definitely a step down in my opinion. We got D'Lo Brown, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Seth Rollins, Ken Shamrock, and Braun Strowman. Seth Rollins is going to be my favorite figure out of the series. Really unique, just like black and then like a yellowish green all over the attire. Comes with the WWE Championship, comes with the vest. I don't recall him ever holding the WWE Championship in this attire, so I think that's pretty odd because like this attire is from like SummerSlam with Finn Balor, right? So like when Finn became the first Universal Champion and got his shoulder hurt and all that, and never reached the heights of his original run ever again. Man, I wish that injury to Finn never would have happened, man. That just threw his whole career off. Man, it's just like what could have been. But I got majorly off topic there. Seth Rollins is my favorite figure out of the series. Head sculpt's not my favorite with the screaming expression, but overall I like the attire a lot. I like the vest a lot, and it is my favorite figure out of the series, especially since Elite 52 as a whole is pretty weak in my opinion. And the worst is going to be Braun Strowman. This is like the benchmark for so many Braun Strowmans that we'd see after this. Elite 58, we saw Braun Strowman. Elite 68, we saw Braun Strowman. Then like so many just top picks waves and all that. Everybody was tired of Braun Strowman figures back then. This was the first one. Not a bad figure, but certainly my least favorite. In Elite 52, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. Elite Series 53. The Miz, Kevin Owens, Heath Slater, Alexa Bliss, Chris Jericho, and Big E. Favorite figure of the series, Alexa Bliss. They put a lot of time into this figure. It's really cool. I think this was like a Harley Quinn cosplay gear from Alexa Bliss. The pink, the blue, pom poms, really cool. I like that Alexa Bliss a lot. And my least favorite figure of the series, seemingly like every series that has either the Miz or Triple H in it, I seem to always put it at the bottom. I brought that up with the Triple H earlier from Elite 42, but I guess I'm doing it again. The Miz, Phantom of the Opera mask is cool, but I just the big rubber jacket and the bland attire hold this figure back for me. Final rating for Elite 53, 3.5 stars. Elite 54, Rich Swann, Charlotte Flair, John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. Best figure of the series is going to be Bray Wyatt. Really cool, really detailed. This is like his 2017 WWE Championship win gear. He doesn't come with the belt, but he does come with the lantern and the vest. Really cool attire, really cool head sculpt. Might be my favorite Bray head sculpt of all time. Even though those new Ultimate Edition heads for Bray Wyatt are really good. But I think until then, I would have to give the nod to this one because that Ultimate Edition isn't out yet, obviously. Least favorite figure out of the series is going to be Jimmy Uso. I like this attire a lot. White, red shoes, really cool. But just this head sculpt, man. I don't like this head sculpt at all. I can't even pinpoint anybody that this looks like. Certainly not Jimmy Uso. I mean, this does not look good at all. Like he just looks like I don't even know what he looks like, man. That's not Jimmy Uso. Especially when you look at how good Jay's head sculpt was, in my opinion, and then look at this. This is just not good. My least favorite figure out of the series is Jimmy Uso. Elite 54 as a whole, 4 stars. I think it's definitely a better series. Really, really cool. Elite 55, we got James Ellsworth, Undertaker, Neville, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and Brock Lesnar. Best figure out of the series, Neville. I like the gold attire a lot. I like the head sculpt. I like the championship that he comes with. And he's got like the gold pinstriping on the boots, which I think is really, really cool. So Neville's going to be my favorite figure out of the series. Least favorite figure out of the series is going to be James Ellsworth. It's definitely something that looks like him and resembles him, but it's just bland. It's not my favorite figure, so he's definitely going to get the nod for my least favorite figure out of the series. Elite 55 as a whole, I'm going to go 4 stars. I think it's really cool. Elite Series 56, Jack Gallagher, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. AJ Styles is going to be my favorite figure of the series. Blue attire, what the literally like the SmackDown, the house that AJ Styles built. So cool. One of my favorite gears AJ Styles has ever worn, even if they re-released this figure like 4 times. But still, I love this AJ Styles. Really, really cool, and I like the head sculpt, like the gear, like everything about that AJ Styles. Least favorite figure out of the series, Jack Gallagher. Much like with the James Ellsworth, something that looks like him, but just something that's a little bit bland. The umbrella accessory was pretty lame. I think he could have came with like 2 umbrellas, had one that was open, one that was closed, similar to the Kyrie Sane Elite that we're gonna be seeing. That one has an open umbrella. but Jack Gallagher is just my least favorite figure out of the series. And 3.5 stars is going to be my final rating for Elite 56. Elite 57, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ty Dillinger, Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is going to be my favorite figure out of the series. The amount of fix-ups you can do with this figure are just really, really cool. He's shirtless, he's got the back tattoo and all that. You could put like different head sculpts on there and have like the face paint. You can put different armbands on there. You can have cloth shirts. It's just really, really cool. Really nice Jeff Hardy. Even if you don't customize it, it's really cool. It's like he takes his shirt off, he goes up with a swanton bomb. That's what this figure basically represents. It's really, really nice. Like that Jeff Hardy a lot. And my least favorite figure out of the series, I think most people would say Baron Corbin, but it's going to be Ty Dillinger for me. I like this magenta attire a lot. I think that's unique. He comes with a really unique entrance jacket, but it's just overall the figure that I would least like to have out of the series, if that makes sense. I would just like to have all the other figures over the Ty Dillinger, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a solid figure. But my rating for Elite 57 is going to be 4 stars. Elite 58, you got Sheamus and Cesaro of the Bar, as well as Mickey James, Braun Strowman, Matt Hardy, and Dean Ambrose. Matt Hardy is my favorite figure out of the series. When I was like putting this all together, I didn't realize that I put Jeff and I put Matt, so they go perfectly together because of course, tag team, the Hardy Boys. But Matt Hardy, really cool green design on the pants. The pants are mainly like what really sells this figure for me. Really cool, green and gold design on the pants. Definitely one of his best figures. And Braun Strowman is my least favorite figure out of the series. This is around the time where they started redoing and re-releasing a lot of Braun Strowmans. And Elite 52 is basically the exact same as this, except this one just has, I believe, different boots. I could be wrong, and a screaming facial expression. And I was never a fan of this accessory, man. He comes with an ambulance door, and that's just weird, man. Especially like when they actually did an ambulance playset, that door didn't even match up. Like you couldn't even put it on. So it's just like really random, really weird. I think he did something with an ambulance door when he was feuding with Roman Reigns. But Braun Strowman is my least favorite figure out of the series. Elite 58 as a whole, 3 stars. Two more. Elite 29. Zack Ryder, Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, Kurt Angle, The Miz, and Finn Balor. I find it really, really cool how Kurt Angle is included with his son Jason Jordan in this series, if you remember that storyline. But Kurt is going to be my favorite figure out of the series. This is Team Angle, WrestleMania 19, Kurt Angle. I wish they would have done a Shelton Benjamin that matches this, but they never had rights to Charlie Haas. So I don't really see that being likely, even if Shelton Benjamin stayed with WWE, if they were to have made that, because like without a Charlie Haas, it would have been pretty pointless, because that's like one half of the tag team. But this is the Team Angle Kurt gear, really coul hoodie, like jacket he's got, and this is a figure that I really wanted them to do in an Ultimate Edition WrestleMania 19 Angle. He's got the 2 gold medals, he's got the jacket, really really cool. Love that figure. Worst figure out of the series, I've done it again. The Miz. Just a big rubber jacket and bland attire. That's basically the entire reason why the Miz always makes the like the bottom of the list when it comes to these rating videos. But I also don't like this head sculpt. I think there's better Miz head sculpts out there. And my final rating for Elite 59 is going to be 4 stars. And finally, we got Elite Series 60. John Cena, Triple H, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Giant Machine, and Elias. Best figure out of the series is going to be Kofi Kingston. This is like the American New Day gear. It's just really, really cool. I like the Kofi Kingston with the vest and just the really unique like ice cream melting American flag gear. It just looks super duper nice. Kofi Kingston, super duper cool with this on American gear. I could have gone with Xavier Woods, but I ended up choosing Kofi Kingston over Xavier Woods. I just think his attire and his figure is more detailed when it comes to the like this particular gear. But just really cool Kofi Kingston. And my least favorite figure out of the series is going to be Giant Machine. There's actually a really interesting origin behind this figure. So Andre the Giant had been like fired in the storyline, and he had to like come back. in a tag team known as the Machines, being managed by Captain Lou Albano with like Big Machine and then something else Machine, and then it was Giant Machine. We never got any of the other machines, but I think it's really cool how this includes the mask as well as the Andre the Giant head sculpt. And it kind of pains me to put this at the at the like the as my least favorite figure out of the series because I just think the origin of this figure is so fascinating and so cool. But it's just my least favorite figure out of the series. I feel like every other figure is better than this, and especially that Kofi Kingston, which is my favorite figure out of the series. But Elite 60 as a whole, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. And that has been it for my Elite Series 41 through 60 rating. It is tremendously cold outside, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And next we will be doing Elite 61 through 80, then 81 through 100, and like 100 to 114 maybe 115. So they showed pictures of Elite 115 yesterday, so I could only assume it'll be out by the time we get there in this Elite rating video. But we're almost all the way through. We would have rated every single Elite series of all time. I know you guys have enjoyed this, so be sure to smash the like on the video and subscribe to Jed Wrestling, who is signing out.